back again with a tutorial this time. I just want to let you know the meaning of each and every house. There are 12 houses in the horoscope. It's good to know the meaning of each house when you check further into your horoscope. Now let's have a look at the first house. Now the first house is the one here on the top, first house. We go anti-clockwise always, starting from the first house. Now what you should do in your horoscope, look at this sample horoscope, just find out where the planets are. Now here in this sample horoscope, Venus is in number 2, that means second zodiac sign, not the house, that is the second zodiac sign, but this is the fifth house. When you start from top, anti-clockwise, first house, second house, third house, fourth house, fifth house. So fifth house, you got to know what is the meaning of the fifth house. Likewise, for every planet, you can check where the planet is, in which house, and following this video, you will learn what sort of characteristics and qualities could these planets give you. Now looking at the first house now, first house is the house on the very top. As I said, it is the LAGNA house, the ascendant, and first house, the most important of all the houses, as it is the house of the beginning. So it is very crucial and can have a big and lasting impact on the life of the individual. Physical appearance and features, attraction, and signifies the face and the head, character, temperament, and nature, even personality traits, a lot of things coming from the first house. So it's good to have a beautiful planet in the first house. That is very important. Now what about the second house? Second house is the house of wealth, DHANA Bhava, money matters, and one's deposits, income, personal finance, valuables, material goods, precious stones, earning ability. It represents one's family and early life, mouth, dental issues and face, speech, food habits, vision and general, and then right eye in particular, capacity of verbal expression. The second house controls the financial situation and affluence of a person. So second house is very good to know what is there in second house. Now going to the third house. Third house, this particular house, third house is for what is it? Is siblings house. Third house represents communication and siblings, especially younger brothers and sisters. Signifies success through own effort, courage, bravery, adventures, initiative, motivation. So it's good to have a good planet in the second house. Fine arts, singing, dancing, voice, writing, soldiers, arms, shoulder, arms, neck, throat, right ear, hands, short journeys. This house shows how we communicate and exchange information with people. This can be in any of the forms: oral, written, social media, or broadcasting. Fifth house has to be good to do all that. Our adaptability and relationship with people, that is all from the third house. Okay, so then we come to the fourth house. Fourth house is mother, comforts and mother, or the home front. Matru means mother and SHUKHA means comforts. So fourth house represents mother, motherland, home life, fixed assets, house, land, property, conveyances such as cars, general happiness, comforts, early education, academic degrees, passion, emotions, matters related to the heart, mental peace, represent chest, particularly lungs, etc. That is from the fourth house. It's a nice house, fourth house. And then we have the fifth house. Fifth house is house of children. House of children, fifth house, this corner. House of children, fifth house. This house represents children, PUTRA, intelligence, creative and innovative nature, higher knowledge, in-depth research, analytical skills. So you've got to have a good fifth house, good planet in the fifth house to do get higher knowledge and to do in-depth research, etc. Sense of destiny, purva punya, merits collected from the previous life, If a good planet is there, very high. Morals, pleasure, generosity, and love affairs. Investment and speculations also from the 5th house. It indicates stomach, right knee or leg, uterus, and reproduction system. A very negative planet in the 5th house. It's not good for the reproduction system. Conception, miscarriages, association with children, that is if Mars is there in the 5th house. Professions of educationalists, scientists and gynecologists, etc. That's all from the 5th house. Now let's have a look at the 6th house. 6th house, house of enemies. Not only enemies, it is also related to service-oriented activities, and it denotes challenges from competitors and enemies. Medical or healing profession, service-oriented activities to uplift the well-being of mankind, nurturing, healing and caring, everything will look from the 6th house. And service-oriented jobs such subordinate levels of co-workers, food, restaurant and police or military work. It governs digestive system, diseases, pancreas, right ankle and feet, kidney, liver, stomach, intestine and the digestive tract, lower part of the body. Quarrels and debts, deals with disputes, legalities, lawsuits, etc. How we deal with various types of challenges and shortcomings, relatives and your mother's side, relatives of your mother's side, that is all the 6th house, especially health related issues. We have to check the 6th house. That is the 6th house. And then going to the 7th house, it's very important. 7th house is the spouse house, partnership house, or the house for relationship and marriage, relationship with family and others. In our society, relationship means not only a partner or the spouse relationship with anybody, with kith and kin and the family and extended family or neighbors, everything relationship. Relationship house is the 7th house, and attraction to the opposite gender. Business partnership also relationship. Residence in foreign lands, desire, generosity. Business or employment in private firms. Sexual passions also in 7th house. It governs sexual organs, that's why, and diseases thereof. Stomach and abdomen area, that is all in the 7th house. Now going to the 8th house. 8th house, lifespan, AYUR. Ayu means lifespan, also known as AYUSTHANA. That doesn't mean one can predict how long you are going to live. That I don't do normally. But 8th house, it represents life force, longevity, etc. Spiritual practice, especially spiritual practice related to God, goddess and planets, or metaphysics, astrology, intuition, psychic abilities, that is all from the 8th house. Gains from wills, legacies, deeds, courts, cases, and insurance policies, losses, windfalls in shares, wealth, inheritance, all from the 8th house. If the 8th house is pretty bad, then I don't expect people to go on legal activities or to fight for their fair share through legal avenue. That I won't. It's not good. And 8th house. Now what is the 9th house? That's a good place. I call it lucky house, most fortunate house. House of fortunate, known as house of luck, Purva Punya again, because previous karma collected by the previous life, good karma, we can evaluate from the 9th house, most auspicious and fortunate house. It represents father, grandparents, faith, virtuous nature with moral values, law, higher knowledge, and studies like doctorate, higher knowledge, pilgrimage, long journeys, languages like Sanskrit, Roman, and Hebrew. It also indicates grandchildren and mental aptitude towards yoga and spiritual practice. It represents hip, left knee and leg. Ninth house is very important. Ninth house is the most auspicious, lucky and fortunate house. So it's a nice place, ninth house. Now the 10th house. 10th house is Karmasthana, house of action, career, profession, etc. The house is called Karmasthana and represents the acts one does. It signifies profession, career, or whatever we do in our day-to-day life. Our action, paid or non-paid. We are in action always, so that is the action house. Karmasthana, respectability, fame, honors, activities that benefit society. Authority, government work, pilgrimage, working with the general public, all we can evaluate from the 10th house. Workaholic tendencies and ambitious targets. Politics, leadership and management. It governs spine and the back. If a negative planet is there, especially Mars in the 10th house, not good for the spine and the back. That is the 10th house. Now we come to the 11th house. 11th house is the gains and profit. LABA, profit. 11th house represents sources of income, profits and positive gains. Elder brothers and sisters. Eldest brother, paternal uncles. Friends circle and support from friends. Gains through professions, ambitions, desires. Signifies the fulfillment of desires. How would you be able to generate health? That is, we can check from the 11th house. Ankles, calf, legs and left hand, all from the 11th house. Good friends are those who understand your needs and offer support. You can find out all that profit and gains and everything from the 11th house. And then we have the last one, 12th house. 12th house via Bhava, Mokshasthana, house of losses and house for spirituality. Two things. Because 12th house is the last house. Things we should learn to let go. House of losses and expenses is called Vyasthana, also known as Mokshasthana. Learning to let go through spiritual practice is Mokshasthana. When we are spiritual, when we practice a spiritual life, we should learn to let go. So things can go out of your hand, not to cry for that. Self-realization, monastic life and spiritual liberation, that's all from the 12th house. Indicate ashrams, meditation centers, monasteries and places of worship. Long journeys, secret enemies, connection with foreign countries. Also in astrology, they say 12th house talks about the bed pleasure, comforts of the bed. Covers bad habits, imprisonment, hospitalization, sleeplessness, separation, addictions, misfortunes. Also 12th house because house of losses. Addictions such as alcoholic intoxication, obsession with sexuality, and so on. It also indicates export and import. Left eye also feet, keeping away from home base or travel. Completion or ending of a life cycle, 12th house. It is the house for seclusion, solitude and emancipation, moksha, which means final liberation from the cycle of birth and death. That is the 12th house, final liberation. And the last, I have to show you this picture. This is a summary of the houses. The first house, appearance, body parts through the life, first house, ascendant, and then go anti-clockwise. Second house, income, wealth, family, life, food, drinks, speech, teeth, etc. Third house, younger siblings, competition, skills, daily round, short trips, etc. Fourth house, mother, emotional life. real estate, home, fixed assets, vehicles. Then comes 5th house, especially children, spiritual practice also, education, searching in depth. 6th house, health house, enemies also. This is the house for litigation also. And then comes the 7th house, very important, spouse, business partnership, relationship, all that. Home in foreign country. Then come the 8th house, partners, resources, sudden events, inheritance, endings, career change, sexual attractiveness, occult sciences, metaphysics. 8th house. 9th house, higher education, special trips, luck, pilgrimage, spiritual development. Then come the 10th house, career, job, day-to-day activities, fame, reputation, and also father related. 11th house, additional ventures, elder siblings, social life, positive gains, winnings, and the last, enlightenment, liberation, faraway lands, hospitals or imprisonment, everything from the 12th house. So now you know the meaning of the houses. You need to find out from your horoscope where the planet is. So if a good planet is in this house, if a strong planet is there, that is good. So the more about these things, you need to talk to an astrologer and find out. That they will help you definitely. So let us meet again in 2 weeks' time to learn something else. Thank you. Bye-bye.